All right, let's get this going. Wait, if I can get back to the right screen. Hello and happy Tuesday. This is Wendy Lee. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and I'm excited that you are joining me today for a little bit of paper crafting. So what do I have in store for you today? All right, we are going to make a super cute, it's a fast and easy project, but I really like it. So we are featuring the Hydrangea Haven bundle. So the stamp set and dies. Love this one. We used it we've used it the past 2 months in my card club for one of the 4 cards each month. So we've already made 2 projects with it. And then I'm also featuring it at my Diamonds team meeting this month. And so I've got a project for you. Isn't that cute? Little crate of flowers. So I'm going to show you how to create this. And this is what I think is super cool, is that this crate right here, I don't know if you can see the details. Hopefully when I get up under the camera, you'll be able to see it a little bit better, but it's got, it kind of looks like a little crate there that those flowers are in. So that's why I've got it called that. And then the inside is blank, so you can write in whatever you want to celebrate, since this is a congrats card, right? So we're also featuring this product suite in the All-Star Tutorial Bundle this month. So that means you can get it for free when you place a $50 minimum purchase, or you can purchase it outright for $15, whatever makes you happy. And tomorrow, I don't know if you've seen already, but tomorrow Stampin' Up! Is offering a 1-day free shipping. Yay! Yay. So it is the perfect day to stock up on all your staple supplies and save that shipping. That 10% shipping, that's a lot. And if you're in North Carolina, we charge tax on shipping. So if the shipping's free, we also save a little bit of tax. So that's nice. Not every state is like that. Everyone's just a bit different. But anyway, all right, you guys ready to jump in and start playing? All right, let me switch the camera over. I'm trying something new today. That's always scary, right? We'll see what I can get here. All right, so I've got the catalog page open for the hydrangea. Oh, I'm not seeing Facebook comments here. All right, I'm going to work on my laptop while I try to get this popped up here. Sometimes these tablet things don't work out so good. Oh, no, good. I'm good. All right. It just had gone to sleep on me, so that's not a good thing. I'm going to see if I'm in the Facebook group. So you could be watching me in my Creatively Yours Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Facebook business page, or you could be watching me in my Creatively Yours studio Facebook group. So I live stream it in both places. If I could figure out how to do it on YouTube at the same time, I would. I'm not sure I know how to do that. So still working on that. Oh, good. So several of you are here. Hey, Gwen and Vicky or Mimi, should I call you? Yay. Hey, Kay, so glad you're here. Yes, super excited about that free shipping. Hey, Jennifer, so good to hear from you. I haven't seen you in forever. I actually need to reach out to you, my friend. I got a favor. And you're like, don't reach out then. All right, so this is the Hydrangea Hill product suite and is on page 18 and 19 in the mini catalog. And it is jam-packed full of beautiful goodness. And it's funny because when I first got this catalog, I was really drawn to this product. But once I started making cards and with the seaside spray, the misty moonlight, the Rococo Rose, the Highland Heather, the Gorgeous Grape, and mixing those colors together. Oh my God, I love these color combinations. They're so pretty. And the sad thing is, well, I think it's sad, is that 2 of these colors that coordinate with this suite are retiring at the end of this annual catalog. So May, good grief, May 3rd, so just a couple more months, month and a half or so, will have the in colors around. So the 2019, 2021 are the colors I'm talking about. So I'm talking about Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, Pretty Peacock, Purple Posy, and Terracotta Tile. These will be going away. So if you love these colors, make sure you have the ink pad and the re-inker for sure, because you don't want your pad to dry up. You want a full pack of cardstock maybe. So kind of take an assessment of your inventory, because tomorrow is the perfect day to add those items to your list, right? It's also a really great time to stock up on things like basic white cardstock, things that you use a lot. Why not take advantage of this nice free shipping offer? So those of you that love this suite as much as I do may have realized that, yes, Jean, I agree. It is a little cruel of them to be using such great retiring colors in this suite. I agree. Yeah, because this catalog goes through the end of June, but you won't be able to get those colors after May 3rd, right? Oh, so you have to have them or you won't be able to use them later. It's so sad. I didn't even think of that. So yeah, timing wise. Oh goodness. Yeah, so you definitely want to get those. But this suite, the suite itself is currently not orderable. And I checked again just a little bit ago because hopefully some things were due in this week. And I've noticed that the pearls are finally orderable again. So you can get these lovely pastel pearls. But the one thing that's keeping us from getting the whole suite under one item number is this darn grape ribbon. And it is fabulous. Let me tell you, it's a sheer, it's got a little shimmery to it, I think. It's super easy to tie. It's soft and pretty, but it has been super popular. So this got moved out, I think, another week. So because this bad boy is not available, you can't get the whole suite, but you can get everything else. So you just have to enter in a few extra item numbers to get the rest of the suite. So, all right, enough of that. Let's get into some paper crafting. So again, I'll bring the card back in. Now you guys know I'm trying to work on my lighting and my layout and all that fun stuff. So, oh yeah, Jean, you just had that realization as well. Okay, so yeah, your comment inspired me to think, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do for 2 months? Well, May, June, I guess it's only one. No, that's 2 full months though, because the catalog ends the beginning of May and the mini catalog goes to the end of June. So yeah, almost 2 months without those colors. Granted, as you can see, I didn't use, well, I used Rococo Rose. All right, well, that didn't work. I was gonna say I didn't even use those colors on this card, but I did. I used Rococo Rose. I love Rococo Rose. Actually, I really like all 5 of the in colors that we've got that are going away, sadly, but we'll be okay. So, all right, so today's project is this super cute creative flowers. And again, I'm using Rococo Rose for my background here. And then we've got this little crate we've created, and then the inside I left blank. So this is what we're going to create. So you guys know I've been trying to work on my setup, right? My camera issue, my lighting issues, all kinds of fun stuff. So you guys will have to let me know if this is any better. I decided to ditch the webcam and go back to the iPhone to do my my stuff here. So we'll see if the camera quality is better, and then you'll have to let me know on the lighting as well. I'm trying some different things. My room is very shadowy, and I'm messing with that. But anyway, it is what it is, and I'll try to keep in camera. I'm not exactly sure where my camera limits are. Every time because of switching back to the iPhone, it's not a stagnant setup. So it changes just a bit every time you do it. So that's always interesting. So hopefully I will stay somewhat in camera. So I'll watch that. Okay, good. Everything's looking good so far. Good. All right, let's start off with our Rococo Rose card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11. This camera view actually is a little more zoomed in as well. And if that is problematic, please let me know. I did that a little bit intentionally because I felt like maybe I was too far out, and that was part of my issues. So, all right, so I've got that. Let's bring our stamp and seal, and I've already added the dimensions into the description of the video, but I'm going to try to do them as I go as well. So I've got a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. and then a piece of Mossy Meadow, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And yes, Jean, I love my 8ths because I think they look good with that little narrow border. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece of basic white. I might have called it Whisper White a moment ago. If I did, I apologize. I'm still transitioning. When you have a product for years and years and years and you change away from it, it takes a little bit to get your words back, right? So hopefully you guys can see that. It's just a really narrow or 16th inch, right, border of that Mossy Meadow. And I think it adds a nice touch just having that little skinny border. So I'm just going to adhere this right to the card inside with my Stampin' Seal. Again, you could stamp something if you'd like to on the inside. Maybe I should have stamped some of these cute little flowers. Oh, I should have done that. Okay, we go back after the fact. Okay, so here's what happens when you decide later you want to stamp. So let's put some scrap paper. Let's see if I can move this up, make sure I'm in camera. Let's see if we can do this. I should have stamped it, but let's do it anyway. I'm going to try to make this work. So I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink and these flowers, and I'm just going to stamp them right here on the bottom corner. Yay! I love it when things work out. That doesn't happen often for me. Awesome. So we'll go back and color these when we do the outside of the card as well. Great. Yay. All right. Yeah, that adds a nice touch. I do really like that. All right. I better actually leave that open or I'll forget later to go back. So I'm going to slide that aside just for now. Now, I've got a second piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 inch by 5 inch. And then I've got a piece of the designer series paper. Love these designer papers. Every print in there is awesome in my opinion. So this designer paper is 2 3/8 by 4 7/8. And we are going to adhere it just flat with some Stampin' Seal right on this layer. So this side would be really pretty as well. We could have switched our Rococo Rose to Highland Heather, which is not retiring. So we could still use this paper after our stuff is retired, right? So sad, so sad, so sad. All right, let me grab some dimensionals and we are gonna pop this up on the front of our card base. Oh, having a little trouble getting those off of the sheet today. Crazy, crazy. So Vicky, how's my little baby doing? So you guys know I think you guys know, I had new grandbaby, Bonnie, was born last week. So Heather and Chase are doing great. And Vicky is out visiting, helping with everything. And let me turn off my phone. There we go. All right, so we've got this on the front with dimensionals there. So next I've got a piece of designer series paper from the same pack. And this is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. And then I've got a piece of Mossy Meadow. Oh, I've got this backwards. The designer paper is 3 1/4, 3 1/4. The Mossy is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. That way that layers, right? So I got that 1/8 inch border again. So let's go ahead and adhere these two together. That's pretty, isn't it? Love it. There's that Seaside Spray. A little bit of Purple Posy in there, I think, too. All right, so that's on there. And we're just going to pop this right up on the front of the card. So let's get some dimensionals for that. Find where I put them. Vicky, she's perfect. I'm sure she is. She's got a head full of hair, super cute. Chase finally started sending me some pictures yesterday. Vicky was the first one to share a picture with me, though, because she's nicer. All right. Slide that down a bit. Great. All right. Good deal. So next, we want to do the circle. So I have already die cut this, but I used the largest circle from the Stitch Shapes dies and die cut out a basic white circle. I love the Stitch Shapes dies. My favorite, one of my favorites for sure. Let's go ahead and put this down with dimensionals as well. All righty. Get that off. Nice. Super cute. All right, so next let's do the crate. I love this part. So I brought in the stitched rectangles dies and a scrap of soft suede cardstock, and we're going to take it and run this through the die cutting machine to die cut this rectangle. All right. So now that I've got my rectangle, I want to make it look more like a crate. So I'm going to score some lines here. So let's slide this stuff out of the way. And we are going to bring in our Simply Scored tool. You could definitely use your paper trimmer if you prefer. Let's see if I can get this in the camera. I'm going to kind of do this sideways, hoping that you guys can see this okay. And it doesn't really matter where I put it on the scoreboard. Well, maybe it does. Maybe I need to try to get it. I'm going to turn it. Hopefully you guys can see that. Nope. I'm not able to get it where I want it to be. Well, we'll try this. It's not at a good angle though. I got too much stuff on my table. Well, I'm just going to keep it. Just going to keep it at wherever it falls and we'll make it work. I'm just going to put it between two 1-inch marks and then we'll be okay. So what I want to do is I actually want to flip it over to the back side because I want the score lines to pop up on the front. And then on my stylus tool, I'm going to use the narrow end. So again, you could use your paper trimmer if you prefer. I'm just lazy and this is faster. So I am just going to score this every 1/4 of an inch. It's interesting to use this sideways. So this just gives me 3 nice score lines, and I'm pushing a little bit on that because I want a nice, good, I guess, bubble up on the other side. I hope you guys can see that. Cool. I just think it adds a nice depth to it. All right, let's get that out of the way. So that's my crate. So fun, right? We'll bring back in our card. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that up on dimensionals as well, just right on the front. I hope I'm in screen here. I looked at, I know there's a delay with Facebook. And so I looked over and I didn't see anything. So I was like, oh no, is that the delay or is that I'm not on screen? So I wasn't really sure. All right, so let's get this crate. I'm going to kind of eyeball it. I probably should bring in my original card and look and see what I did. So I kind of brought the corners down to the stitching line on the circle and kind of matched that up, for lack of a better way to say what I did. So now we're ready to create our little flowers. So I've got a scrap, a piece right there. And I'm going to bring in that flower image one more time in my Memento black ink. And I want to stamp 2 sets of these flowers. Okay. So you can put a foam pad underneath if you feel that you need to. I'm not finding any issues with this particular stamp set and needing it, at least for these smaller images. I might use it on the bigger. So where did my dies go? Okay. So then we're going to pull in this die here, which matches that little bundle there. We're going to go die cut this. So I've got my 2 flower bunches here. So we're going to go ahead and color these. And I'm going to go ahead and color that inside one at the same time. So I've chosen to use my Rococo Rose marker, Stampin' Right marker, and my Old Olive Stampin' Right marker. So that's what you're going to see in the supply list, is that I've got the Regals, which has the Old Olive, and then the In Colors that has the Rococo Rose. Now, you could completely use Stampin' Blends as well. It really doesn't matter which one you use. I just decided that I was going to use markers for this because I just wanted to. But again, it doesn't matter. So these are little images, so you're not really going to get the shading out of using blends. But what I'm trying to say, and maybe not very well, is that use what you have. If you have both, just whatever you grab first. If you only have one or the other, then just grab what you have, right? So we're just going to add a little olive to these leaves. I'm using the fine point end. You could use the whiter end if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. guess I should have colored some ahead of time so you guys didn't have to watch me color. But you're watching me color because I didn't do them ahead of time. The shadows are messing with me a little bit. This one I got off a little bit when I cut, but that's okay. We'll put this one in the back. So part of it's covered then. All right, I'm going. Okay. Oh, 2 more leaves. All right, so my leaves are colored. Oh yeah, Jean, you're right. You could definitely use oh, thank Wendy. Yes, you could definitely use the blender pens and ink and do it that way as well. I think that might take you a little bit longer because of how little the images are, but maybe not. And then Kathleen, yes, you could put these together and make a hydrangea head. Yep. You could put them together this way and make a butterfly. Maybe. I might be stretching it. Butterfly? I don't know. I'm a strange person, I know. It's all good. All right, so we're going to add in our Rococo Rose real quick. And I'm not going to worry about if every petal is solidly colored in. If I've got a little white space, I think that's fine. To me, that's a little artistic looking then. So I'm just using the brush tip because it's faster. Just add this color in here real quick. All right, and we'll do the second one. We'll scribble a color in each one. And the inside as well. And then I'm going to go back and add a little bit of depth to the center of each of these. So since I chose to use a marker versus the Stampin' Blends, I'm going to do my own version of just a smidge of shading here. All right, so anytime you layer color over color, you're going to get a little bit of a darker shade. So I'm just going to come in and in the center of each of these flowers, I'm just going to go right back over the top of the color. And that's going to lay down just a smidge more color and give me a little bit of a shade. Can you see the difference there? It'll dry lighter, so it's not going to be as dramatic as what it originally looks like when you first color it. So it'll fade out a little bit, but I think it adds a nice touch. Doesn't make them look so flat. So just simply layering that color. Nice. All right, so my inside is done finally. Yeah, that added such a nice touch. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Kind of crazy, right? All right, so what I want to do here is I'm going to grab my snips and I'm going to cut this in half. Ah, yep, done. All right, and then I want to adhere these to the opposite sides of the crate flat, and then this one's going to pop up right in the middle. So hopefully I don't get them too far apart. So cute, makes it look like there's all kinds of flowers in there. Yeah, watercolor pencils are great. Hey Lane, so glad you could join us. Yes, I love the watercolor pencils as well. Those would be nice. Really, any coloring that you enjoy would work well for this. Just know that it's small images. Or keep in mind, I guess you could say, you know that it's a small image by looking at it. All right, using a little liquid glue on this. I know, makes me crazy too, but I'm using it anyway. It's just the easier thing for that, or at least I think. And then let's go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this set of flowers. And then we will plop these right on top. Cute. How fun. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's add in our sentiment. So I've got a scrap of basic white. And let's bring in our old olive ink pad. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on it. And I'm going to kind of do it over to the far right because I want my sentiment to end up on the right end of the label. I don't want it centered because I'm going to put a heart on the other end. And I'm bringing back in my hydrangea dies. So I'm going to use this little label right here and go cut that one out. I've got this, super cute. I'm going to go ahead and put that down with a little bit of liquid glue on one end. And then I'm going to put a dimensional, I think, on the other end. You know what? No, I don't think it needs it. Let me go a little further on this glue. Make sure I've got a good amount stuck down. I think I'm just going to do the liquid glue. So let's see. Maybe I want it right there. Sounds good. Okay, nice. All right, so we can add in a little heart. So I've got a scrap of Rococo Rose, and I'm actually bringing in, if I can find where I put them, these are the snail dies. You can use any die that has a heart in it. I just really liked the size and shape of this one, so I grabbed that. I'm going to go run that through the machine. And I've got this super cute heart. So I can just lay that right down there on the end. So let's go ahead and put that down. I'm going to use some liquid glue again. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that, Melissa. She likes the little crate. It's fun, right? All right. So then our heart goes right here on the end. And it's a nice little touch, right? And then let's finish it off with a little bit of linen thread. Now, I use a ton of linen thread, and it's sadly been on back order. It's orderable. You can order it. It just hasn't shipped. And I have spools and spools and spools I'm waiting on. So, let me do that again. All right, so I'm going to take my linen thread. I'm going to make my loops. I'm going to crisscross. Bunny goes in the hole, back throughout. Pull it tight. So that's a terrible bow. But when I hold the knot, I can pull these ends. The reason of holding the knot is to keep it tight so it doesn't just all come loose on you. And then you can work this to be as baby of a bow as you want it to be. Cute, right? I love it. I like a baby bow. I'm a big fan of the baby bow for sure. So clip those off, although I hate wasting this, especially when I know I need a ton. And I want to just glue that right there. So you can use glue dots. You can use your liquid adhesive. I'm gonna choose to use a glue dot, or what I call a booger. All right. So just stick that right down on there so I don't have to touch it. And then slide that down. I'm gonna give that a little push. Whoops. I gave it such a push and my liquid adhesive wasn't dry yet that it fell off. All right. Now we're good. All right, it needs something. Let's add some Winka Stella, right? Gotta have a little shimmer. So let's add a little shimmer to our flowers with some Stella. I don't know if this will show very well in the camera. It's hard to see unless you're in the right angle. It just adds a touch of shimmer. I don't think that hurts a thing to add that. You don't have to be super neat with it either. All right, so hopefully you can see the little shimmer on the flowers, maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on the inside too. Might as well, right? I'm gonna tie that design together. My tummy's grumbling. Ready for some lunch. Jean's probably just having breakfast, right? All right, so that finishes it off. Could you add more? Sure, you could, but I think it's good how it is, and we don't want to take it too far. At least I don't think we should. All right, so here was my original one. And here's the one we did today, where we added a little extra color to the center of our flowers. And we added the design to the inside. Cute. I hope you guys love this one, and we'll give it a try. You know, like I said, it's super easy, but I think it's a different way to use some of the images in the stamp set and make a super cute, fun card. So you got friends that are gardeners, they might like something like this, or who doesn't like just some flowers, right? I'm surprised at how much I actually love flower stamps. I have a lot of them. Oh, good. You like it, Gwen? Good, good, good. All right. Thank you guys so much. So if you're enjoying the content, please share this with your crafty friends. And if you're watching on the replay, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, all right. So I am going to go for now. Don't forget free shipping all day tomorrow. And I will see you next Tuesday. All right. Have a fabulous, fabulous week. Bye for now.